All right, everyone, so we're going to take a look at multiplying fractions. We're going to multiply the fractions 3/4 times 1/2. And so a lot of you are probably looking at this going, oh, this is easy. We just multiply across the top, we multiply across the bottom. And you would end up with 3/8. And that would be the correct answer. But do we understand how we get to that answer? In other words, do we understand why we get a smaller fraction than the two fractions that we multiply? Meaning that 3/4 and 1/2 are both larger fractions than 3/8. So why is it that when we multiply, we get a smaller fraction? So we're going to think about this using fraction rectangles. That might help us out. Let's start off by thinking of what 3/4 times 1/2 is saying. So this multiplication symbol means of. And so basically it's saying that you're taking 3/4 of 1/2. Meaning you are taking a piece or a fraction of another piece or fraction. So obviously if you take a piece of a piece, it's going to be even smaller than those two pieces. And so here, let's start off with our first piece that we take. We have 1/2. Think about if your friend gives you half of his candy bar. So here's the candy bar, and your friend is nice enough to give you half of it. So we're going to shade 1/2 of that candy bar. And now you decide to eat 3/4 of that 1/2 you were given. And so far we've split this rectangle into two halves, and we've shaded 1/2 to show that fraction. And now we're going to split it into fourths vertically. And then shade 3/4 of it. And now we need to look at where our colors overlap. So where do my green and purples overlap? And we'll find right here that it's these three squares inside of a rectangle. And so 1, 2, 3 pieces would be how many we have eaten of this candy bar. And then if we look at the total pieces that we have within this candy bar we drew, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces. So here our fraction would be 3/8. So 3/4 of 1/2, or multiplied by 1/2, would equal 3/8. So hopefully this is starting to make a little bit more sense. Let's do a few of these together so that way we can get the hang of it. So I'm going to start off with my second fraction, because remember that multiplication symbol means of. And so I'm taking 1/2 of 3/4. So let's start off by drawing our 3/4 vertically. And then I'm going to shade 3/4. And now we need to show 1/2 of 3/4. And so I'm going to break this entire thing into two halves, and I'm going to shade 1/2 of it. And once again, we're looking for where our colors overlap. So that's going to be right here, these three pieces. 1, 2, 3, out of a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So our fraction would be, once again, 3 over our total 8. Moving on to the next problem here to the right, 5/8 multiplied by 1/3, otherwise known as 5/8 of 1/3. So since 1/3 is what we're starting with, I'm going to go ahead and divide this into 3 pieces, and I'm going to shade in one of those three pieces. Nice, so we have shown this fraction here. And now we need to take 5/8 of 1/3. Let's see if I can do this. That's 1/2. That's fourths. There's eighths. Awesome. So now I'm going to shade 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, stopping at 5. And so now I need to count how many squares I overlap. So I'm paying attention to my greens and then this even smaller rectangle inside of it. That's where the colors overlap. All right, and so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of my total pieces that I have, which would be, let's see, there's 8 going across the bottom and 3 going up, so that's going to be 24 if we do base times the height, and so my fraction would be 5/24. All right, now what I would like you guys to do is go ahead and try these two problems on your own here. 1/4 of 2/3 and 3/5 of 1/5. Pause the video, take some time, and then come back to it when you feel like you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and do this really quickly together. So I'm starting with shading 2/3. So I'm going to break this into 3 pieces, and I'm going to shade 2/3. And then I'm going to shade 1/4. So I need to break it into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and I'm going to shade 1/4. Where do my colors overlap? It's going to be right here. These 2 pieces out of 3 times 4, 12. So it's going to be 2 out of 12. And can we reduce this? Yes, we can. We could do 2 divided by 2, 12 divided by 2. And so I have 1/6 is my final answer. All right, here we go with 3/5 multiplied by 1/5, otherwise known as 3/5 of 1/5. So again, we're going to start with the of fraction. I'm going to go horizontally here. Now we need to shade in one of them. That fraction is done with. Now we're moving on to 3/5. So I'm going to do the same thing, divide it into fifths. This time vertically instead of horizontally. Shade in 1, 2, 3 of those fifths. Where do we overlap? Right here. These 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, out of my total. Here I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down by 5 across. So 5 times 5, that's going to give me 25. So 3/25 would be my final answer. All right, hopefully this is making sense to you guys, because we are going to have some problems in our homework where you could draw a rectangle of your own and do 3/5 of 7/8 or whatever your given problem is. All right, have fun with it. Thanks, guys.